Today I'm going to show you how to produce a stocking stitch. A stocking stitch is simply a row of knit stitches followed by a row of purl stitches, and you continue with that pattern until you produce a swatch like this. As you can see, the stocking stitch, also known as the stockinette stitch, creates a pattern that has on one side rows and rows and rows of chevrons. See? You have rows and rows and rows of little bumps, also known as purls. So, this side of the pattern is produced using purl stitches. This side of the pattern is produced using knit stitches. You start with your needle going through the front of the stitch. Then you wrap your yarn around the needle and pull that yarn through and take that stitch off of the left-hand needle if you're right-handed. I'll show you again. You put the needle through, wrap it around, and then pull that new stitch through the back loop, and then you're going to pull this back loop off of the old needle. Again, you put the needle through the front of the loop, like so. Wrap the yarn around from behind, and you pull that new stitch through, and then take the old stitch off the needle. And you do this over and over until you complete an entire row. So you've completed a row of knit stitches, and so you have a new row of chevrons. And you know that you're on the knit side because you can see the chevrons. If you turn the pattern over, you can see that you have a different shaped pattern. This is your purl side. Looks like a bunch of little tiny bumps. Rather than going from the front of the yarn through the back like we did with a knit stitch, we're going to do the opposite for a purl stitch. So instead of going through the front of the yarn, we're going to come through the back of the yarn like this. And we're going to wrap that yarn around the needle through the front like that. And then you're going to pull it through and take that stitch off of the old needle. Let's try it again. Through the front of the yarn, wrap the yarn around the needle, create the stitch, and pull the old stitch off. Got it? Through the front, wrap it around, pull that through, and take it off. Through the front, wrap it around. And that's your purl row. To continue with the stocking stitch, the next step is to turn your pattern over, back to the right side. And we're back on the knit side. Again, we'll complete a row of knits. As you can see, we're back on the knit side, the right side. This is the right side because this is where you started. This would be the side that faces outwards. You may want to use the purl side to face outward. In that case, that's the right side. The right side of your pattern depends entirely on what the outside of your product is supposed to look like. If we want the outside to look like chevrons, then the right side is this side. If we want the right side to be bumpy, then the purl side is the right side. Since we just finished a row of purl stitches, we're now back on the knit side. You know that you're on the knit side because you can see the chevrons. We continue with this pattern to produce the swatch that you see here.